Hey guys, it's Tom. Today I'm going to teach you guys about two new Excel functions, GroupBy and PivotBy. And you're going to see the output of those is very similar to a pivot table, but without a lot of the extra overhead. And they're really useful. So let's go ahead and dive right in. I'm going to start off by making a pivot table first. So here's my data, and I want to do a couple things first. I'm going to name that range bakery. And then I want to name the range of each column as well. So again, I'll Control A, go to Formulas, Create from Selection, and I want to create them based on the top row. Click OK. So now you see I have range names for all of my column headings. If I want to use revenue, I just click on revenue. This will make building the formulas a lot easier. So let's go ahead and make our pivot table. We're going to just insert pivot table, and we're going to do existing worksheet and put it right under that pivot tab. Click OK. And now it's going to be pretty basic. What we're going to do is just show location and products underneath that location. And then the total revenue. All right. So it looks pretty good. Brooklyn, here's all the products they sold, and here's the sum of revenue. Well, let's see how to do that with the GroupBy function with just one little function here. So I'm going to type equals GroupBy. Hit tab, and then what are my row fields? That's what I want to be on the side there. Well, I want it to be the location, and I also want it to be the items. So if you notice here, if you have multiple ranges in the GroupBy, separate them with a colon, and then you can have multiple columns be part of your GroupBy function. Then I want the values. I'm going to go in here and just type revenue. Hit tab, and now you can type in one of Excel's functions. If you start typing, it will give you the list. Now, something to think about is all the aggregate functions you can use. If I wanted an average, I got averages there. If I want a count, I got counts, but I'm just going to sum those up. So hit tab to put the sum in there, and then the next parameter there is going to be, do you want field headers? Well, of course I do. Yes, and show them. And do I want totals? Yes, I'm going to have grand totals. And then I close parentheses. That's it. Looks almost just like the pivot table. Little formatting differences, but it's the same information. Now, one of the things that is really good about the GroupBy is the data is 100% dynamic. So with pivot tables, if the data changed, you had to go do your refresh. You don't have to do that with PivotBy and GroupBy. So let's see what happens with PivotBy. It's going to be the same thing, except for we're going to be able to have one of these fields be column headings. So let me scroll over here and do the same thing. Equals PivotBy. Row fields, my bakery. Oops, no, the row fields are not bakery, it's location. And instead of doing the colon for items this time, I'm going to put that as the column fields. And I'll still have a sum function. Oh, values. Then I put the revenue for the values. Determine my function. Field headers, yes and show. Grand totals. And that's all I'm going to do for that. So now I created a little pivot table with items across the top and locations on the bottom. Well, that's it. GroupBy and PivotBy, two awesome new functions from Excel. Thanks. See you later.